The movie begins by showing a newborn infant boy in a city in China. The infant had a flash horn on his head. That's why his mother named him Luchan, an odd person. Luchan's father was a successful entrepreneur who was exceedingly frugal even to his family. A few years later, his father's character did not change even though he had a kid. It made Luchan's mother intend to take his money to support herself and her son's life. One day, Luchan was playing outside the house. He bought munchies while watching a street kung fu display. At the same time, some kids appeared and disturbed him. They accidentally hit the flesh horn on his head. This left Luchan unconscious. But a few moments later, he woke up and went back to beating all the children with kung fu that he mimicked from what he had seen earlier. Even the kung fu expert who exhibited his kung fu previously couldn't resist the tremendous attack that Luchan unleashed. Soon, Luchan fainted again, and his nose was bleeding. However, the kung fu teacher was impressed by Luchan's skill. A martial artist, Master Zhao, followed Luchan to his residence. Luchan saw his mother being kicked out by his father for taking his money. Luchan and his mother left home with little. At that time, his mom was suffering from a sickness. Master Zhao, who accompanied him, was anxious about Luchan's mother's condition. He then requested Luchan's mother for permission to take care of Luchan and teach him kung fu. As a parent who loved her son very much and was helpless due to the situation, she consented to Master Zhao's request. Not long later, Luchan's mother died. The scene switches to 18 years later. Luchan is now an adult and joined the army led by Master Zhao. They aim to seize a city in one of the kingdoms. Luchan was Master Zhao's best soldier, hence he took part directly in the battle against the royal army. As time went on, Master Zhao understood that the enemy's strength was getting stronger. He then instructed his forces to hit the flesh horn on Luchan's head. That manner, they could control the combat that was taking place at that moment. Mr. Zhao's men approached Luchan to fulfill Master Zhao's directions, thus making Luchan again turn into a powerful character. After effectively pressuring the adversary, Luchan again fell and was immediately escorted by his partner back to their base. Upon arrival at the base, Luchan was escorted to Mr. That Dong, a healer. When Luchan woke up, Mr. That Dong advised Luchan to run away from anyone who wanted to touch the flesh horn in his head. He also instructed Luchan to halt practicing kung fu taught by Master Zhao since it did not regulate Luchan's soul and mind. Mr. Dong then encouraged him to pursue Chen-style kung fu. It was excellent for Luchan to stabilize his soul and mind. However, Master Zhao did not accept Mr. Dong's words to Luchan. He then asked Luchan not to heed to Mr. Dong and keep training kung fu. After that, Master Zhao challenged Mr. Dong to fight to establish who was the best kung fu master. Soon, the battle between them occurred. However, Mr. Dong supposedly had tremendous kung fu skills even though he was merely a medic. Finally, Mr. Dong overcame Master Zhao and humiliated him in front of his warriors. In the evening, the royal troops were sneaking inside Master Zhao's squad headquarters and giving a surprise attack. Luchan abruptly woke up and was really astonished. The tents burned down, and several of Master Zhao's servicemen were slain, including Mr. Dong, who got hit by an arrow on his back. At the end before his death, Mr. Dong again recommended Luchan to allow himself to learn Chen-style martial arts. He then told the place where Luchan might practice Chen-style kung fu. It was a village named Chen. Mr. Dong told Luchan to meet Master Chen, who was in that town. After that, Luchan hurried away from the headquarters to reach to the area. The scene switches to Luchan, who had been attempting to find Chen village for some time. He eventually managed to find it, but he received a horrible response from the villagers, who warned him that Chen-style kung fu was not intended for outsiders. Shortly after, a classic automobile appeared and accidentally smashed into Luchan. Then a female who was a passenger in the automobile ran to help Luchan. She was Chen Yunyang, the genuine descendant of Master Chen. Yunyang was exceedingly gorgeous, therefore making Luchan uneasy with her glance. But it turned out that Yunyang wasn't alone. She was with Fang, her boyfriend. Fang's appearance was different from that of other people. He apparently just finished his studies abroad. After Yunyang found out that Luchan was okay, she raced away. At the same time, one of the locals told Luchan that Yunyang was a descendant of Master Chen. Luchan rushed after her, but he was too late because Fang and Yunyang had gone too far. In the evening, the locals, including the leader, attended an event to be organized by Yunyang. There, Yunyang wanted to introduce a fresh innovation that Fang discovered while studying in Europe. Fang evidently planned to install a train track to make traveling easier for the residents. He also debuted his creation, a lighting lamp operated by a machine. But sadly, the villagers deemed Fang's work a joke after the object was found defective. It made Fang desperate. Yunyang persuaded and comforted him to not give up on his objectives. The following day, Luchan met Yunyang and quickly asked her about Master Chen's location. Yunyang remarked that Kung Fu Chen was not meant for outsiders. Her statements made Luchan enraged. Soon, they were embroiled in the conflict, but Yunyang may push Luchan and make him bounce down and disappear. the scene changes to see Luchan being treated by an old man who worked as a scavenger. He recommended Luchan to leave the village. Luchan would only be able to fulfill his aim of mastering Chen-style kung fu if he was an outsider in Chen. On the other hand, Yunyang was with Fong and soothed him. Fong was still heartbroken because his work was deemed rubbish by all the people. He was really irritated when he remembered that. He banged the musical instrument Yunyang had brought and left Yunyang to return to meet the governor at his house. The scene shifts to Fong meeting the governor. He was curious to hear from Fong that all of Chen's people refused the construction of the train. Soon, there emerged a woman who was an investor from Europe named Claire. She came to meet the governor to give a solution for the intended construction of the train to run smoothly. Claire presented the governor a gigantic gadget that might be utilized to create the train track. The following day, Luchan came to see Yunyang again, yet still received an unpleasant reception. Yunyang was disturbed by Fong's rude therapy yesterday. She then beat Luchan with a Chen-style kung fu. She has again defeated Luchan. She also urged the people to beat up Luchan if he came back to their hamlet. But Luchan didn't give up and kept trying to enter Chen village, and all the locals beat him up several times. After the event, Luchan sought to practice the whole Chen-style kung fu movement he witnessed with his own eyes. Soon later, a scavenger went by, and he was amazed with Luchan since he may learn kung fu merely by seeing the movements. The scavenger then encouraged Luchan to emulate the opponent's moves if he wanted to win the fight. The following day, Luchan again confidently entering Chen village. He then met with the tofu salesman and challenged him to a fight. However, the tofu vendor created a rule: if Luchan succeeded to destroy the tofu in his palm, then Luchan was the winner, and they both started fighting. Although Luchan was originally desperate, he remembered the counsel of the scavenger. Finally, he defeated the tofu merchant with some kung fu Chen style that he imitated. Yunyang was also there to observe Luchan's bout. She was shocked to see his abilities to master Chen style kung fu. Yunyang had never taught anyone this kung fu maneuver before. After beating his opponent, Luchan left to thank the scavenger, but he was fatigued and dozed asleep while blood came from his nose. Soon later, Fong returned to Chen village with the railroad track equipment. It was to relocate all the villagers' houses to be used as a proposed railroad route. He was also accompanied by Claire and her staff, who pushed the railroad machine. Fong then issued a governor's welcome to the entire Chen village. The warrant contained an order for all Chen villagers to depart their houses within the following 6 days. Seeing that, Yunyang immediately went to the village, had to find a solution, but everyone there had no remedy or way to avoid Fong's danger. The village chief then said that there was only one person who could make the choice for this: Master Chen. But Master Chen had disappeared from the village for a long time. In the evening, Yunyang sought to discover facts, but she was astonished to hear Fong declaring his love for Claire. Despite the astonishment and jealous, Yunyang still took advantage of the opportunity to pick up a book about the operation of the railroad track-making machine. The scene shifts to show Luchan, who had just woken up and learned he was at the scavenger's house. The scavenger then notified him that Chen village was facing a threat. He then gave Luchan a mission to destroy the railroad line machine. He also remarked that if Luchan succeeded in carrying out the assignment, then it was likely that he would be accepted into Chen village as the village's savior. Hearing that, Luchan was excited, and without a second thought, he swiftly carried out the mission. The scene turns to Luchan, who infiltrates the railway track. He was struggling against some guards, yet he was desperate by the high-bodied guards from Europe. Suddenly, Yunyang appeared and assisted Luchan. It found out that she also penetrated the train track to destroy the machine. Yunyang urged Luchan to cooperate to identify a gap to destroy the machine. Claire was slain in the catastrophe. Yunyang fainted, and Luchan had to return to his house. The villagers praised Luchan for his courageous action in protecting Chen village. He then met again with the scavenger, who turned out to be Master Chen. Luchan was shocked after knowing that the scavenger was the person he had been seeking for. Afterward, Master Chen tells him that a huge catastrophe will come in their hamlet since the army commanded by Fong will undoubtedly take revenge for Claire's death. Master Chen, the genuine chief of Chen village, instantly commanded everyone, his people, to stand by for war. The scene changes to show Luchan. Master Chen clearly disapproved with their plan. He stated the only way to save Luchan was by marrying off Luchan and Yunyang. The movie finished by presenting the atmosphere of Chen village after the war against Fong and his men. Chen people were attending and celebrating Luchan and Yunyang's wedding. From then on, Luchan was acknowledged as one of Chen's villagers and Master Chen's son-in-law. The moral that can be learned from this movie is never give up on reaching our goals, as illustrated by Luchan.